Ever notice how some evenings feel like they vanish into thin air, while others linger in your mind for years? Maybe it's a quiet night with a warm drink in hand, or that time you laughed so hard with friends you couldn't breathe. That's not just luck, it's science. And understanding this is the key to designing evenings that don't just end the day, but become moments you carry with you. We've all had those nights where we crash into bed after a blur of scrolling or chores, only to wake up wondering where the evening went. But it doesn't have to be that way. The memory fade is the illusion that busy evenings are fulfilling evenings. In reality, our brains don't hold on to hours spent on autopilot. They crave novelty, emotion, and sensory richness. Think about your favorite evening from the past year. I'd bet it wasn't binge watching a show you barely remember. It was a moment alive with detail. The flicker of a candle, the taste of something special, or the sound of someone's voice cutting through the silence. Designing the perfect evening isn't about doing more, it's about feeling more. And that's what we're diving into today: how to craft an evening that doesn't just pass by, but becomes a memory worth keeping. Chapter 1: The Evening Reset. What if I told you your evening could be a reset button? Not just for your body, but for your entire sense of self. After a long day, most of us stumble into the night on autopilot, letting screens or stress dictate the hours. But neuroscience shows that how you transition into your evening sets the tone for everything that follows. Studies from UCLA found that a deliberate 10-minute shift, like stepping outside to feel the cool air or listening to a calming sound, can lower cortisol levels by 20% and signal your brain to unwind. This is the foundation of the perfect evening, a sensory reset that tells your nervous system, the day's done, now it's your time. Imagine this. Instead of scrolling through your phone the second work ends, you light a scented candle and let its glow wash over you. Same 5 minutes, totally different experience. The perfect evening starts with a moment that pulls you out of the day's chaos and into something intentional. Chapter 2: Twilight Biology. Your body isn't just winding down at night, it's following a biological script that's been running for millennia. Circadian rhythms don't stop when the sun sets. They shift into a quieter, restorative phase. Research from the National Sleep Foundation shows that between 6 and 9 p.m., your body temperature drops and melatonin starts to rise, priming you for calm and reflection. Fight this natural flow, and you're battling your own biology. Ever wonder why late-night screen time leaves you wired but exhausted? But lean into it, and you get a biological tailwind that makes your evening feel effortless. The perfect evening aligns with this twilight rhythm. Think gentle activities like stretching or reading by warm light instead of pushing through more work. Timing matters. Ever notice how a glass of wine at 7 p.m. feels relaxing, but at midnight it just keeps you awake? That's your body talking. The perfect evening listens. Chapter 3: The 5-Hour Evening Formula. What if I told you the 5 hours between dinner and sleep could be your secret weapon for a better life? Most people treat these hours like a free-for-all: TV, chores, doom scrolling, but chronobiology says they're not equal. The perfect evening follows a natural 5-hour flow. First, the unwind phase, 1 hour after dinner, perfect for light movement or a warm drink to ease out of the day. Next, the connection phase, 1 to 2 hours, when emotional openness peaks, ideal for a deep talk or shared laughter. Then the creation phase, 1 to 2 hours, when your mind gets reflective, great for journaling or a creative hobby. Finally, the wind down phase, last hour, when silence and dim light prep you for sleep. Studies show aligning with this rhythm cuts stress by 25% and boosts next day energy. The perfect evening isn't about cramming, it's about flowing with your natural evening curve. Chapter 4: Soundscapes of the Night. The sounds of your evening aren't just background noise, they're shaping your mood and memory. Ever notice how a certain song can pull you back to a night years ago? That's sound's power. Research from MIT shows that low-frequency sounds, like a crackling fire or soft waves, slow your heart rate and deepen relaxation by 15%. The perfect evening has a soundtrack you design. Maybe soft jazz while you cook, silence during a quiet moment, or nature sounds as you drift off. Think of it like scoring a movie. Your evening deserves its own sonic vibe. When you craft your night's soundscape, you're not just chilling, you're building a memory that sticks. The perfect evening hums with intention, not chaos. Your nose and taste buds are memory machines, and most of us ignore them after dark. But what if your evening had a signature scent? or flavor. Studies from the University of Liverpool found that warm scents like vanilla or cinnamon boost feelings of coziness by 30%, while a slow sip of herbal tea can anchor you in the moment. Imagine this. You brew a cup of chamomile, letting its steam hit your face, or light a cedarwood candle that fills the room. These aren't just treats, they're memory hooks. The perfect evening uses taste and smell to mark the night as yours. Ever smell something that takes you straight back to a cozy winter night? That's what we're engineering here. In a world of screens, we're starving for real touch, and your evening can fix that. Your skin's receptors don't just feel, they calm your mind. Research from the Touch Research Institute shows that 15 minutes of tactile comfort, like wrapping yourself in a soft blanket or massaging your hands with lotion, drops stress hormones by 22%. The perfect evening weaves in touch and stillness. Maybe it's sinking into a cozy chair or feeling the weight of a warm mug. Ever notice how stretching out on the couch after a long day feels like a reset? That's your body craving physical ease. The perfect evening feels good to your skin, not just your schedule. Your eyes don't clock out at night. They're still shaping your brain. Studies from the University of Edinburgh say warm lighting, like amber lamps or candles, cuts mental fatigue by 18% compared to harsh blue screens. The perfect evening curates what you see. Dim the lights, add a natural element like a plant, or watch the stars for a minute. Ever feel instantly calmer walking into a softly lit room? That's your visual system unwinding. The perfect evening isn't a neon blur. It's a gentle glow that soothes your mind. We chase productivity all day, but evenings are for connection, and that's what makes them stick. Harvard's 80-year happiness study says relationships beat everything else for well-being. The perfect evening builds in a connection anchor, a 10-minute call with a friend, a shared story with family, or even a quiet moment with your pet. Studies show a 5-minute heartfelt chat boosts mood for hours. Ever notice how a good laugh with someone makes the whole night feel brighter? That's your emotional fuel. The perfect evening isn't complete without a human spark. The perfect evening isn't a fantasy. It's a practice you start tonight. You don't need a total overhaul, just 2 tweaks. 1. Create an evening entry ritual. Light a candle, play a song, feel the shift. 2. Pick one sensory anchor, like a warm drink or a soft throw, to ground you later. Research shows these small moves make evenings feel 20% longer and more vivid. The perfect evening isn't rigid. It's a living design you tweak as you go. Start small, then build. What's your first step? Drop it in the comments. I'd love to hear. If this resonated, hit subscribe and that bell so you don't miss our next video on turning your bedroom into a sensory haven. Let's craft evenings that don't just end the day, they redefine it.